What's going on, traders? This is the Bearded Trader here to go over some trades I took earlier this morning. It was a great morning, man. It was a lot of action, a lot of momentum flooding into the market today. A lot of great trade setups. So if you have something that's working for you, stick with it. If you don't, then that means you need to find something that is working for you. Had some big winners with PLSE, another big winner with ITUS, and HMNYs continue to run higher past several days. Took a loss on that IZEA, man. You know, it was sad. It was so sad. The trade setup was right there working in my favor, and I ended up taking a loss. So we'll go over that trade, man. Hope y'all didn't make the same mistake I made. Got to get better. Plain and simple. Got to get better. With that said, let's jump into it. Let's take a look at PLSE and see what this trade actually did today. This is a 5-minute chart, and I'm gonna show y'all why I took the entry that I took. And you know, if you took something different that actually worked out better, hey, let me know. I'm always looking for advice. So I started looking at the stock right here on this candle. Even though it did make a gap, you know, from Friday, from 15, it gapped all the way up to $16. You know, pretty much a dollar gap. But I wasn't actually paying it any attention this morning. I'm not sure why I didn't have it on my watch list, at the top of my watch list. But anywho, when I saw this candle form right here, I said, all right, well, that might be the pullback. And once you actually trade a stock, you know, several times over a month, 2 months, you kind of see and start to feel how they react to the market on a daily basis. So I knew that once this candle closed, that, you know, PLSE would not pull back any further, just based on the, you know, you get this big old gap up. This is a stock that can move 20-40 cents within a minute, and there really is no reason why it would pull back any further. So my entry is going to be this dashed line, which was a resistance level or support level from, was it last Thursday, I believe? Let me check. I believe it was last Thursday. Let's look at a 15-minute chart. Yeah. So I knew that this line, anything above this line, I would actually take a long position, because the same thing I did last Thursday. Took a long position here, boom, bounced up. So I'm looking for the same setup today that I got on Thursday, which it happened on this candle. First candle to make a high above this resistance level with increased volume. Took a long position, scaled up as it went up, and I exited the trade right here at 17.49. So now I'm looking for a pullback, and get the pullback. Switch this to a 15-minute chart. Get the pullback on this candle. So we finally get the pullback that I was looking for to take an even better trade. You know, this was a good trade, getting in right here at 1671 and riding it up to 1748. I mean, granted, that's a great trade, phenomenal trade. But I knew that once other people saw it after this pullback, there would be a chance to make an even better trade. And this is the trade that was even better. Got in at 1724. You know, first candle to make a new high with increased volume. Hey, you get it. So I had to stop down here. And granted, this was a wide stop at this 1678. I doubt I would let it get all the way down to 1678. Probably this 1696 level would have been my stop, more than likely. But it never, you know, it never even pushed down to me to actually say, hey, this is the stop. So took a long position, 1724, took half out, 1784, and then again up here at 1838. So roughly a dollar from the entry. And as you see, hey, if you're getting back in it, some people got back in it. Now it's riding higher. But I'm done for the day. So it was a great trade. You know, it was a great trade setup. Looking for the first candle to make a new high. We got it. And increased volume. We got our volume spike. Like to see that. Other people getting into the stock. Hey, Other people like it. I like it. That's good. Next, let's take a look at this IZEA. Now, this stock got halted on this candle right here, which was a position, which was fine because I had an entry at 487 when it got halted. But before all this even happened, I was down roughly what, $1,300 because of this, which is my own stupidity. So I took a long position here at right above this high at 508 and rolled this position all the way up to 549 and did not take any profit off the table. I did not take $1. I didn't sell not one share. Why? Have no clue. Which, if my go-to formula is to sell something, you know, at least sell a quarter. My plan is to sell a quarter of my position on the first 10-cent gain, then sell half the position on 20 cents, and then scale out accordingly as it continues to go up, looking for support or resistance if I'm short. So why I did not take any profit off the table was just foolish, because as soon as I saw this red candle form right here, I ended up getting stopped out roughly at 478. I stopped out down here, and that was a $1,300 loss when it could have easily been $900, $800 gain. So I'm down $1,300 right here, and I say to myself, well, I'll keep my eye on it. If I can make some money back, that's fine. If I can't, I'm just gonna have to swallow that pill. Even though it's a hard pill to swallow, I'm gonna have to swallow it. So as this consolidation area took place, you know, this stock did not get any lower. You know, it just pretty much went sideways for the next, 30 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. This stock went sideways. It didn't break any lower, didn't break any higher. Area of consolidation, buyers and sellers are neutral. So as soon as buyers become a little more aggressive, I'm looking for an entry, and got my entry right back at 508, right above this blue dashed line, which is the overnight high. This overnight high, took another long position. So when I got long again and pushed up to 540, I realized the stock had halted. When I first tried to sell, I sold half the position. It didn't go through. I'm like, what's the problem? Okay, the stock got halted, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it does it makes me a little nervous because it can open anywhere. But this stock opened higher, pushed up, and got out around 604, which gave me some of my money back, you know, $700 back. So ended up just taking a $700 loss on IZEA, when at the very end of the day, there was no reason to lose money on this stock. No matter if you got in on this 1 minute candle, you know, if you got in above this high, this overnight high right here at 506, you could have took profits up here at 546, you know, 40-cent gain. Man, I'll take that any day of the week. Or even if you got in back here, right again, above this overnight high at 506, you can ride this thing all the way up to $6, pretty much $1 gain. So there was no reason for anybody to lose money on this stock, and I was one of the people to lose money based off of not sticking to the plan, which my plan is to take profits off the table. You know, I sell a quarter of my position at you know, once I hit that 10-cent mark, then sell another half the position at 20 cents, then another quarter position at another 10 cents. So I like to scale out as I go up, versus I know some people scale in, some people lower their cost basis as it goes up, and some people just buy, you know, may buy 3,000 shares at 506 and then go sell 3,000 shares at 606. Hey, whatever works for you, you got to stick with it. But don't do something different that's been working for you. And that was my mistake today. HMNY. Let's take a look at it. It's a great setup on HMNY as well. Took a long position right here at 857. Above this, I think this was some resistance. Why do I have this red line here? Look on a daily chart. Not sure why I have this red line here. It told me something. I forgot what it actually told me. But anywho, so it took a long position here, 856, pushed up to 9. That was a great trade. So every 10 cents I actually scaled out on the way up, pushed up to 914. Sold that position. Then once I sold I actually sold everything right here at 914. Then got back in above this high, which is 922. Scaled out again at 936, then again at 958. So that was HMNY, which, you know, this stock has been moving the past several days. I think since last week it has been moving. Now, once this long leg had formed and gave me that bullish sentiment, I was looking for the first pullback. I was looking for it. I was trying to see if we get a bounce and get some volume to kick in. We never really got it. Granted, this did make a new high, but volume's light, and that's a tell to that, you know, that volume is a tell that, hey, people are not getting back in this stock, so there's no point of you getting back in it. Just take your money, go find something else to do with it. And that's what I did. Since I didn't get back in HMNY, I actually went over to BSTI, and BSTI has some great setups. First entry was here at 1271, up above this overnight high. That purple represents my trigger. So as soon as I see volume and price action above my trigger, I go ahead and basically pull the trigger. That's what I did. Got in and scaled out on the way up. First target was here, which is previous resistance area. Sold a quarter position, sold half the position, sold another quarter at 13.19. Then on this candle, exit the entire position 13.21. And like I said, as soon as, you know, I see this long leg, I'm looking for the first pullback, but it never took place. You know, never got the volume increase that I was looking for to get back in. Now, some may say, well, why didn't you just turn around and short the stock? Well, it all depends on the broker. You know, my broker, I use a Thinkorswim TD Ameritrade platform, and they would not allow me to short this stock. So it all depends on the broker you have. That kind of determines the things you can short. I prefer to short, you know, more notable stock like maybe Snapchat or Apple, Google, Bank of America, JP Morgan, you know, things that are more liquid. I try to not short small cap stocks. I like to use those as runners, gain 20 or 30% on, you know, in a small time period. So that was, let's look at one more, ITUS. Because this stock is running. Granted, I'm no longer in it. I was in it. And I know people are like, man, why don't you just hold your position? Well, my rules dictate what I do. You know, I don't change my rules once they have worked. My rule was, all right, we got this pop right here around 1020. Look for the first pullback. Here's the pullback. Now, once we get the pullback and a support level is formed, I'm looking for the first candle to make a new high, which is this candle, with increased volume. We got the volume increase. You know, volume went from 64,000 all the way up to 141,000. That's the volume increase. So once we get that, my plan is to scale out. You know, scale out accordingly. So if I'm in this stock at 1258 and I sell my first quarter right here at 1273, then I sell some more at 1284, and I see this first candle pull back Granted, I don't see everything else that's about to happen. I don't see the future. I just see the present, which is, hey, let's go ahead and lock in profits. So I'll scale out at 283, and that's it. And at the time, looking at the clock, it's 11 o'clock. Like I said, I try to shut down at 11:30, so I do not get to stay in this trade longer. Granted, is there money to be made? Yeah, there's money to be made, but it also means if I don't stick to the plan when I'm winning, I'm definitely not gonna stick to the plan when I'm losing. And that's my mindset. Stick to the plan no matter what. So when all else fails, I have something to fall back on. Same thing for you. You have to stick to your plan, no matter if you're winning or if you're losing. Stick to the plan, because generally your losers would be a lot bigger than your winners if you don't stick to the plan. So that was it. That's ITUS. We talked about that loss on IZEA. There's no reason for anybody to lose money on this stock, but I was one of the people to lose money. If you made money, hey, I'm rooting for you. Keep up the great work. Y'all got any comments, any questions, anything that doesn't sound right, anything that you actually would have done differently? Let me know. Let me get your opinion. Let me get a macro view of these trades. I can only view it through my eyes unless somebody gives me another set of eyes to view it from. That said, I'm the Bearded Trader. It's been great. I hope you all are profitable. Take money out of the market each day, even if it's only $100. Take it out of the market. Get used to taking money out of the market. Y'all have a great day.